Number 1. Sarah runs a channel where she shares her life on the road, showing peaceful camping spots, quiet nights in her van, and the simple routine of traveling alone. Most of her videos have a calm and relaxing vibe, but during one trip, something happened that completely changed the mood. After driving for hours, she arrived in Asheville, North Carolina, and spent a few days exploring the area. At night, she parked her van in different parking lots to sleep. Her first night was easy and uneventful. She stayed in a Cracker Barrel parking lot and nothing unusual happened. But the following night, when she parked at another Cracker Barrel, things took a frightening turn.
Know her. Please leave me be.
The restaurant had already closed for the night, and the parking lot was completely empty. Her van was the only vehicle left there. While she was inside preparing dinner on her small cooktop, she suddenly heard someone knocking on the side of her van. At first, she quickly turned off the lights and any noise so she could hear what was happening outside. She thought it might be police asking her to move, but it wasn't. The knocking continued, this time on the rear doors of the van. That was when she started to feel seriously nervous. The man outside seemed convinced that a woman who worked at the restaurant was hiding inside Sarah's van. He believed it was someone who had broken his heart and kept insisting that Sarah come outside to prove it wasn't her. Sarah stayed inside and kept the doors locked. She tried to make it clear that he had the wrong person.
So I am safe right now, but I just had my first knock on the door. That was not the cops. Being alone, I was in the middle of cooking dinner. So I had my cooktop out, propane hose attached and everything. And then he's just bangs on my side door right here. I first turn off all the lights, turn all the sounds off so I can hear what's going on in case it is the cops. I need to talk to them. It wasn't. And then he banged on this door right here, the double doors. And that's when I got really nervous. He was complaining about a girl that worked at the Cracker Barrel and, broke her heart and thought that she was in my van and was telling me to come out and prove that I wasn't her. And I was just proceeding to tell him, please leave me be. I am not who you think.
The man even claimed he had seen her van there many times before, which wasn't true at all. It was a disturbing situation. The man was basically trying to get her to open the van doors so he could check inside. There was no real reason for him to be doing that, and his behavior made the whole encounter feel dangerous. Realizing things could get worse, Sarah grabbed her camera. As soon as the man noticed he was being filmed, his attitude changed, and he began acting like he hadn't done anything wrong. Sarah didn't wait around any longer. She started her van and left the parking lot immediately. Number 2. Johnny B was out hiking in the forest with a friend who was filming the trip. While walking through the area, they came across a rocky cliff that stood about 50 feet high. Instead of just passing by, they decided it would be fun to climb it. His friend went up first, carefully making his way to the top while recording the climb. Everything seemed fine at that point, and there were no signs that anything could go wrong.
You good? Yeah, all of it.
But when it was Johnny's turn to make the climb, things didn't go the same way. Partway up the cliff, he suddenly lost his grip and slipped. He fell down the rock face, hitting the ground below. Thankfully, the fall wasn't as bad as it could have been, and he managed to avoid serious injuries. Later on, Johnny joked about the moment online, but many viewers didn't see the humor in it. A lot of people pointed out how dangerous the situation was and criticized the decision to attempt the climb without any proper gear or safety precautions. Outdoor adventures can be exciting, but activities like climbing carry real risks, especially without preparation. In this case, Johnny was lucky the fall happened when he was still relatively low on the cliff. If he had been higher up, the outcome could have been much worse. Number 3. Darren runs a channel that mainly focuses on fishing, and his videos are usually calm, informative, and well put together. But one video from December 2018 captured something far more serious than anything he normally films.
To the corner here, just see if there's anything in the field yet. I'll be going back down over here where I stand. But I get here, and wouldn't you know it, there's another person sitting right there in a truck with his cargo light on. I can guarantee you he doesn't have permission in this piece here. Otherwise he'd be sitting in one of those bail blinds that they have. And he's clearly not hunting this piece. For one, I could almost guarantee he doesn't have permission, and two, where he's sitting, he wouldn't even be able to shoot through this tree line here. It's too thick. So, yeah, just another trespasser, poacher. Flipping it over.
It was the last day of deer season in Manitoba, and Darren headed out to a hunting spot he had visited a few times before. When he arrived, something immediately seemed off. He noticed a truck parked nearby with its cargo light on, and someone was sitting inside. From the way things looked, Darren suspected the person didn't actually have permission to be hunting on that land. Instead of getting involved, he chose to ignore it and continue with his own plan. After walking around the area for a bit, he eventually returned to his hunting position as the evening approached.
Oh my goodness, that bullet just came over my head. Sounded like a hit though. You freaking idiot. Oh. Man, I wish there were some bigger trees here. This guy's gonna freaking kill me. He's shooting right towards me. Oh my goodness. Okay, at least there's some trees between us now. Idiot.
It was around 6 in the evening, right near the end of the legal hunting hours, when things suddenly became dangerous. Without warning, a gunshot rang out and a bullet flew over his head. The sound made it clear just how close it had been. Moments later, another shot followed. Darren quickly realized someone was firing in his direction. With very little cover nearby, he moved carefully toward a few trees that could at least offer some protection. Being out there alone while bullets were passing overhead must have been terrifying. Darren was wearing bright orange hunting gear, which is meant to make hunters easy to see in the woods. Despite that, someone had still fired shots dangerously close to him. After things settled down, Darren decided to confront the people he believed were responsible. He walked over to the truck he had noticed earlier, but when he arrived, no one was inside. He started taking photos of the vehicle and its license plate, just in case he needed proof of what happened. Not long after, the men returned and asked what he was doing. Darren told them about the shots that had nearly hit him and explained that he had the moment recorded on video.
Taking pictures of the license plate? Is something wrong? Everything all right?
Somebody shot at me. I got on video. Literally, a bullet came flipping right over my head.
Two shots earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like around
Shot
4
at you?
o'clock?
Yeah. Somebody walking down the edge of Huggins Field here.
Yeah, there was a guy walking on the end of the trail here.
So I was on the far side. Somebody walked down this side here, and freaking bullet. I seen a deer came out, and I seen the guy walking. And sure enough, boom! You can. It's probably on video too. You can hear the bullet just.
Well, no shit. Well, we were wasn't us. We're over.
No, the first shot wasn't hit because it half a mile later it was still way up in the air. It sounded like a hit. I know it sure sounded like it.
It did ever.
The men denied shooting at him and acted as if they had no idea what he was talking about. But the situation felt suspicious, especially since one of them seemed uneasy during the conversation. In the end, Darren walked away unharmed, but the experience left a lasting impression. Hearing bullets cut through the air above you is something most people never experience, and it's a chilling reminder of how quickly things can go wrong in the wilderness. Even in places where people expect to worry about animals, sometimes the real danger comes from other humans. Number 4. These clips were first shared on TikTok by a woman named Rose Honey Morgan. One day, she took her dogs and her baby for a walk through a wooded area. It was supposed to be a quiet break from everyday life, just some fresh air and a peaceful walk along the trail. At first, everything seemed normal. But as she moved farther into the woods, something strange caught her attention.
Hang on. Are you seeing this? Fire, fine. You know, fine. That's not light. Oh my fucking god. Actually, I think the dog's gonna hear something.
Ahead on the path. When she pointed her camera toward the area, several rough stick figures came into view. They were standing upright near a group of trees that looked partially burned. The figures weren't scattered randomly on the ground. They had been carefully placed and balanced so they stood up, almost as if they were facing the trail. The arrangement immediately made Morgan uneasy. It didn't feel like something kids had built for fun, and there were no signs of a campsite or anything nearby that could easily explain it.
Am I overreacting? Or is that actually quite alarming?
The burned trees around the figures made the scene even stranger. Everything about it gave off an unsettling feeling, like the display had been set up for a specific reason. Morgan didn't stay there long, and soon continued down the trail. But the situation didn't end there. Not long after leaving that spot, her dog suddenly became alert. Its posture changed right away, ears up and body tense, clearly focused on something hidden nearby.
Oh my actual god.
If you look closely through the bushes in the footage, a person can briefly be seen stepping into view before quickly disappearing again. The video cuts off shortly after that moment. There's no confrontation shown and no clear explanation of who that person was. Naturally, the clip sparked a lot of discussion online. Some viewers believe the stick figures could be connected to ritual symbols or strange activities in the woods. Others thought it might have been someone living off the grid who didn't want to be discovered. A few people suggested the figures could simply be a form of outdoor art or survival markers. Whatever the real explanation might be, the situation clearly felt unsettling, especially since Morgan had her baby with her at the time. Walking alone in the woods can already feel uneasy, but finding strange figures, noticing your dog react to something unseen, and spotting a hidden person nearby adds a whole different level of tension. Morgan never posted another update explaining what happened after the second clip. Number 5. The next clip comes from the Midnight Project, a paranormal investigation channel from the United States. They film their investigations at night and use equipment like night vision cameras and motion-activated devices while documenting everything that happens in real time. In this video, the team visits Jacob's Well in Texas on the night of February 11th, 2026.
White thing. The camera. We saw this white figure that was chasing us.
Hey, Jax. Oh.
Did you hear that?
Something right as we turned the camera off. Wait, shine the flag.
This video on me. I don't think you'll be able to capture it.
Wait, Sean, what'd you hear?
I heard, like, as we were laughing, right, I heard in the background there was a loud woo noise in the background. I was
Actually?
like, laughing with us. Yes.
Right as we finished talking.
Right as we finished
It
talking.
kind of sounded like a
we
little
were-
cackle, like a little child cackle as we were fucking.
The child?
Yes.
Dude, the child was the one that was the last one that didn't survive.
Oh, yeah.
While walking around the area and filming their surroundings, something unusual suddenly appears on camera. For a brief moment, a pale white shape can be seen moving behind the investigators. It passes quickly and disappears just as fast, but the team immediately notices it and reacts with surprise. The moment is short and unclear, leaving room for different explanations.
Yo, who farted? Oh, I just rolled my ankle. Dude, where are we going?
I think this way. I think it's this way.
Alright, stop running.
Okay, guys, so we had to leave because there was a bunch of people who were coming in. We thought somebody was going to catch us, so we ran back to the car. That's wraps for today. We got pretty much a lot. I mean, that interaction was pretty crazy. That guy didn't say that.
I was actually, it blew my expectations. I didn't even expect to see anything really.
Anything y'all gotta say?
I would say for my first time going to Jacob's Well, it lives up to the hype, the fear factor of it.
Still, the sudden appearance sets a tense mood for the rest of the investigation. Not long after, the group also hears strange noises in the background while they are talking. Number 6. The next clip comes from a channel called Stealth Camp Sweethearts, a couple from the United States who share videos of their outdoor adventures. Most of their content shows them camping in quiet, hidden locations where they try to blend into nature and enjoy peaceful nights away from busy areas. This particular video was filmed on February 10th, 2026, at a quiet hillside retreat in Tennessee. Michael and Ashley had set up their campsite beside a small waterfall. They decorated the area with lights, gathered firewood, and even brought pizza and cupcakes to celebrate a birthday.
Right there at the end.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
We saw a shooting star.
At first, the evening felt relaxed and fun as they sat by the fire enjoying the night. While looking up at the sky, they suddenly noticed a bright light above them. It stayed still for a moment and then suddenly vanished. It didn't move across the sky like a plane or helicopter would. The couple tried to figure out what it could have been, wondering if it might be a satellite, a drone, or something else.
Wood, that's fine. But you gotta think, that was a little bit of wood. I mean, if I had something...
Not like that.
What?
What is that?
Huh?
It's getting crazy. We heard a gunshot and now whatever animal that is going nuts.
Cows.
No, it was an animal. I think it was coyote.
Not long after, the quiet atmosphere of the campsite started to change. A loud gunshot echoed somewhere in the distance, followed by animals in the woods making a lot of noise. It sounded like coyotes reacting to something nearby, which immediately made the forest feel less calm than it had before.
Do y'all believe in Bigfoot?
I do.
Well, I believe in Bigfoot. But you bring his ass over here, what the hell am I gonna do?
It's been a good birthday though.
I hope you had a good one.
Yeah, I'll probably stop the camera and once this fire goes out, we'll probably be going to bed. What do you think?
Later, while trying to get their campfire going again, they began hearing strange high-pitched sounds coming from deeper in the woods. The noises didn't sound like normal conversation, but they carried clearly through the trees. The couple couldn't see anything in the darkness around them, which made the moment even more unsettling.
I got up to go pee. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning. Then when I get back in the tent, I hear, ah! And I was thinking if that would have happened while I was out here peeing in the dark, I would have died. But it wasn't long, maybe 10 minutes after that, I heard like roaming around the campground area over here. So, I don't know.
I didn't hear nothing. I slept good. I was warm.
Yeah, he was snoring.
Don't feel that bad out here this morning though.
No. I got hot actually while we were sleeping, kicked my socks off.
Our mattress lost a little air.
Yeah.
Hopefully it don't have a hole in it.
Hours later, after they had gone to sleep, Michael woke up around 1 in the morning and stepped outside the tent. When he returned, he heard a strange cry somewhere in the distance, followed by what sounded like movement around the campsite. The noise didn't last long, but it was enough to make the night feel uneasy. By morning, the atmosphere felt calm again. They packed up their gear and prepared to leave the area. Nothing dangerous actually happened during the night, but the combination of strange lights in the sky, distant gunshots, unusual sounds in the woods, and nearby wildlife. Have you ever taken your dirt bike through the forest and wondered what might be waiting among the trees? Most riders expect deer, birds, or maybe the rustle of small animals, but the dirt bikers in this video ran into something far more disturbing. The footage comes from Brewers on YouTube, filmed in January 2015, and shows 2 riders exploring a remote mountain forest. At first, everything seems normal. The trail is quiet, the forest calm. They stop for a moment along the dirt road. Nothing out of the ordinary, just trees, silence, and the usual off-road scenery. Then, without warning, a white car speeds around a bend and skids to a stop near them. The door swings open, and a man jumps out. Almost immediately, one of the riders rushes toward him, and the situation escalates quickly. Words may have been exchanged off camera, but its clear tension skyrocketed fast. The second rider initially rides away up the hill, either to get help or create distance, but he quickly turns back, leaving a friend behind isn't an option. When he returns, his friend is already on the ground, being attacked by the man. According to the uploader, the man claimed he owned the surrounding forest, though the footage gives no way to confirm that. There's no clear sense of who was in control or why the man reacted as he did. Then the video cuts abruptly. The description mentions the man didn't stop, but that's the last we hear. There's no follow-up, no details about injuries, no confirmation of whether authorities were called, and no clue how the encounter ended. It's this lack of closure that makes the clip so haunting. You're left with unanswered questions. What triggered the attack? Who was the man? Was he really the landowner? And how did it all end once the camera stopped? Sometimes, it's not what a video shows that sticks with you, it's everything it doesn't. Number 1. When this man checked the footage from his trail camera deep in the forest, he saw something he never expected. In the middle of the woods, 6 women were standing in a circle. They were all dressed in long white dresses, their heads lowered, and their hair covering their faces. It didn't look like a camping trip or a friendly meetup. It seemed more like some kind of ritual. After that night, his camera never caught anything like it again. Number 2. A Facebook user once visited Spring Hill Cemetery in Florida, spending hours walking around and taking pictures. Later, while deleting old photos to free up space, they noticed something strange in one of them. The image appeared to show a man wearing a white shirt covered in what looked like blood. The place already had a creepy feeling, and there were no decorations or objects on the tombstones that could explain the figure. The person also swore that no one else was there at the time. Could it be the spirit of someone who met a tragic end? Number 3. A man was out camping when he heard something moving around outside his tent. Curious and a bit uneasy, he stepped out to see what it was. He noticed something shifting in the dark and quickly pulled out his camera to record it. It was impossible to tell if it was an animal or something else entirely, but it was definitely frightening. All he could do after that was retreat to his tent, stay quiet, and hope it went away. What happened for the rest of the night remains a mystery. Number 4. A group of men were exploring the woods when one of them decided to take a photo of his friend, but when they looked at the picture, they were stunned. In the background, between the trees, there appeared to be a pale, ghostly figure of a small child watching them. The photo was taken near the old Gore Orphanage in Ohio, a place that once housed over 120 children. Over the years, stories of abuse, accidents, and mysterious deaths have given the orphanage a dark and eerie past. Even long after it shut down, locals still claim to hear the laughter and cries of children echoing through the area. Many believe this photo shows one of those lost souls children who never truly left. Number 5. A Reddit user set up a trail camera deep in the forest, hoping to catch some footage of wildlife. But when he checked the recordings the next morning, what he saw left him completely unsettled. Around 12:10 a.m., the camera had captured several figures standing in a circle among the trees. They were all dressed in white robes, their heads lowered, and their long hair hanging down. It didn't look like a normal gathering. There was something eerie and almost sinister about what was happening out there in the dark woods. Number 6. A hiker took this photo near Oregon's Sahalee Falls, but later, while looking through his pictures, he spotted something strange. When he brightened the image, a shape resembling a skeleton could be seen stepping out of a cave. Some people think it's just shadows on the rocks, while others believe it might be something artificial or maybe even something unknown. The real question is, what could be hiding inside that cave? Number 7. A woman was hiking a quiet part of the Appalachian Trail near Robbinsville when she suddenly froze. Up ahead, standing in the middle of the narrow path surrounded by thick trees, was a tall figure. It was dressed in long, dark clothing and had its back turned toward her. The figure didn't move or make a sound, it just stood there, completely still, blocking the way. Alone in the woods with no idea who or what it could be, she felt a wave of fear wash over her. Trusting her instincts, she turned around and left right away. Thankfully, she did. No one knows what might have happened if she had decided to walk past it. Number 8. On July 27, 2025, Adam and Ryan from Times Paranormal Essex, Times visited an old World War I fort in Essex to film during the day. The location is said to be haunted by the ghost of a soldier who still guards the fort from something darker. While setting up their equipment, Adam decided to hide behind a wall to prank Ryan. That's when they heard the sound of leaves crunching in the tunnel, followed by another set of footsteps.
Where'd he go? What? Ryan? Ryan? No way! Where was you? Wait.
Number 9. A woman and her friend were hiking when they finally arrived at a beautiful waterfall and decided to record a short video.
Take your breath away? Take your breath away, right? Did it take your breath away? Take your breath away? Take your breath away, right? Did it take...
They were laughing and talking when, out of nowhere, her ponytail suddenly flipped forward, almost like something had pushed it from behind. There was no wind, and nothing else in the video moved. It looked as if an invisible force had brushed right past her. Strangely, she didn't even notice and kept walking as if nothing happened. Maybe it was just a trick of air pressure, or maybe something we still can't explain. Number 10. A group of friends were spending the day near a waterfall, enjoying the scenery while one of them filmed everything on her phone. At one point, she heard a strange sound coming from the trees. She turned the camera toward the noise but didn't see anything, so she went back to recording her friends. Later, while reviewing the footage at home, she spotted something that made her skin crawl. In the moment she turned toward the forest, the camera seemed to capture a faint, transparent figure of a woman standing among the trees, watching them. None of them had noticed it in person, but the camera did. Was it just a trick of light and shadows, or something truly paranormal? Number 11. One foggy morning in the Pacific Northwest, a woman was hiking alone along an old logging road when she spotted a tall, dark figure up ahead. She stopped in her tracks, watching as the figure suddenly stepped off the path and disappeared into the thick brush. Before it was gone, she managed to snap a quick photo with her phone. Later, she couldn't shake the feeling that what she saw might have been Bigfoot. Maybe it was just the fog and her imagination, but the quiet stillness of that moment continues to haunt her. Number 12. A Facebook user shared a chilling story about a photo his best friend took years ago during a solo camping trip in Utah. He'd used a regular film camera, and after coming home, his mother took the film to be developed. But when the prints came back, something disturbing showed up. In one of the photos, there were several figures, clearly visible people, who shouldn't have been there. His friend swore he was completely alone the entire trip. No one could explain it, and if those figures were spirits, they definitely didn't look friendly. Number 13. A group of friends were exploring Blacker Canyon in Orange County when they decided to snap a quick photo to remember the day. But later, as they looked closer, they noticed something strange. On the left side of the image, tucked away in the shadows, there seemed to be a faint outline of a young boy. They were certain no one else had been there with them. Feeling uneasy, they shared the picture in a paranormal group online, hoping for an explanation. But most people agreed it didn't look like a trick of the light or pareidolia. Whatever it was, something or someone had really been there. Number 14. In November 2016, a small group of friends went hiking through the dense forests of Bulgaria. Like any trip, they took a few photos along the way. But after returning home, things took an unexpected turn. While looking through their pictures, they noticed something unsettling, a strange gray figure hiding among the trees. It looked eerily similar to the classic image of an alien. None of them had seen anything unusual during the hike, but the photo made them question that. Some people think it's just a hoax, while others are convinced it's real. In the end, it's up to you to decide what to believe. Number 15. A woman hiking through a forest in Peru shared a photo online that seemed perfectly normal at first. But when people looked closer, they noticed something strange in the background, a boy-like figure standing between the trees. It looked slightly blurred, and its feet didn't seem to touch the ground, almost as if it were floating. The woman swore no one else had been nearby when the picture was taken. Locals have long told stories about strange things in that forest, people vanishing, eerie noises, sudden drops in temperature, but nothing quite like this has ever been captured before. Number 16. This photo was taken during a hike at Concool's Hollow. At first, it just looked like a man in a red flannel shirt walking near a rocky opening. But hidden in the shadows behind him was something eerie, a pale human-shaped figure dressed in what seemed to be striped clothing. The person who took the picture didn't notice anything strange until 3 years later, when they looked at it again and spotted the figure. No one has been able to explain what it is, but some believe it might be a ghost, possibly the spirit of a clown. Number 17. A girl was on a camping trip when she took a live photo with her friends to send to her mom. But when she checked the picture, she noticed something chilling, a dark silhouette standing behind them just as the light began to fade. Startled, they all turned around, but no one was there. Fear set in as they tried to make sense of it, but there was no explanation for the shadowy figure. So what exactly was standing behind them? Number 18. A group of friends went night fishing in Carlton, Michigan. After catching a few catfish, 2 of them headed back to the car to rest. Not long after, the friend who stayed on the boat called them in a panic, his voice shaking as he said he'd seen something crouching and moving strangely near the trees. The others rushed back, accidentally damaging the trolling motor in their hurry. One of them decided to shine a powerful flashlight toward the spot from about 200 yards away, and what he saw made his blood run cold.
Bro. Close.
But instead, he turned and ran back to the car in fear. The group locked the doors and stayed awake the entire night, too terrified to step outside again. Number 19. In 2020, a Reddit user named Times Hello, I'm Ronnie. Times took 2 unsettling photos on their birthday around 6:30 p.m. while walking through their parents' yard. Near the edge of the driveway, close to the trees, they noticed something or someone pacing back and forth nervously. Then, without warning, the figure turned and looked directly at them. Startled, Ronnie snapped 2 zoomed-in pictures from about 100 to 150 feet away. What made it truly disturbing wasn't just the figure's appearance, but how unnatural the entire moment felt. Even after searching through forums and theories online, Ronnie never figured out what they had actually seen. Number 20. A group of friends went hiking in the mountains and recorded their whole adventure on camera. Everything seemed normal until they watched the footage later. In one of the clips, a strange figure could be seen standing behind them, silently watching. None of them had noticed it at the time, not even the person holding the camera. Seeing it afterward sent chills down their spines. From the video alone, it's impossible to tell what or who was out there watching them in the woods that day. Number 21. Alex and her friend were out in the woods filming a TikTok video when they caught something unusual on camera. If you look closely, just behind a tree to the girl's right, you can see something quickly slide from one side of the trunk to the other. It's hard to tell what it was, maybe just a trick of the light, or maybe something far stranger like a ghost, or even a creature hiding in the trees. Number 22. A man and his family were on a winter hike in Queensland's Bunya Mountains National Park. They were about halfway through the 4-hour trail and had only seen a couple of other hikers earlier in the day. At one point, the man stopped to take a photo of sunlight shining through the trees. Later, while looking through the pictures, his daughter noticed something strange. When they zoomed in, they could clearly see a woman in a black dress standing on the trail ahead of them. But they were certain no one had been there. They had walked that same stretch and hadn't seen a single person. When the man later showed the photo to his boss, she went pale. She told him her daughter had once sensed something dark and unsettling in that exact spot, like something was watching her. To this day, the man has no idea who or what he captured in that photo, but even thinking about it still sends shivers down his spine. Number 23. While taking photos of their kids playing in the woods, one picture caught the hiker's attention. In the background, a pale, human-shaped figure could be seen standing among the trees. They hadn't noticed or heard anyone nearby at the time, and strangely, the figure didn't appear in any of the photos taken afterward. Feeling uneasy, they quickly called the kids back and left the area. Even now, they have no idea who or what they captured in that photo. Number 24. A man decided to go off the trail at night, hoping to catch something paranormal on camera. The deeper he went into the woods, the heavier the air began to feel. Then out of nowhere, he spotted a strange figure standing perfectly still among the trees. It looked human, but something about it wasn't right. There was no movement, no sound, just an eerie stillness, like it was staring straight at him. He didn't wait to find out more. He turned around and got out of there as fast as he could. Later, he shared the footage online. Some people believe it's a ghost, while others think it's just clothing hanging in the dark. What do you think? Number 25. A Reddit user took a random photo late at night without giving it much thought until they looked at it later. Behind a house, something white seemed to be peeking out. It wasn't smoke, fog, or a glare from a light. It looked eerily like a person, or at least something shaped like one, half hidden and completely still. No one had noticed anything there at the time. Whatever it was, only the camera seemed to catch it. Number 26. On a hot summer afternoon, a woman took her dog down to the river to cool off. Everything seemed perfectly normal at the time. But later that evening, while watching the video she'd recorded, she noticed something strange. About 13 seconds in, right as her dog let out a small yelp while stepping out of the water, a faint voice could be heard in the background. No one else had been there, and she hadn't heard a thing when filming. So who or what was speaking, and what did they mean? Number 27. While hiking deep in the Appalachian Mountains, someone stumbled upon something unsettling. In a silent clearing surrounded by tall trees stood a strange, almost ritual-like structure. Curious, they snapped a photo before moving on. But later, when they looked back at the picture, they noticed something they hadn't seen before. A dark figure standing among the trees, watching them. The hikers swore no one else had been there. They were certain they'd been completely alone, or at least, they thought they were. So who or what was watching them that day? Number 28. A tourist and his partner were exploring Japan's Aokigahara Forest, a place known for its tragic past and eerie reputation. While filming a slope during a guided tour, they later noticed something unsettling in their footage. Behind what looked like a small shrine or headstone, a dark figure could be seen standing completely still. It didn't match anyone in their group and appeared to be staring straight at them. There was no movement, no sound, just a shadowy, human-like shape. When they went back to the same spot to check if something physical might have caused the illusion, nothing was there. The experience left them deeply unsettled, convinced that what they saw wasn't a living person. Number 31. After spending the day hiking with her sons, Emma shared some photos from their trip online, but one picture caught her attention more than the rest. In the background, there appeared to be something or someone standing there, even though they hadn't seen a single person at the time. The spot where she took the photo was once part of an old train line, long abandoned. Ever since that day, the strange image has lingered in her mind. Years later, she still has more questions than answers. Number 32. In 2013, during a ghost walk through the dark woods of Hessel Foreshore in Yorkshire, a woman named Hannah Butler captured something truly unsettling. She had taken a series of photos near a tree said to be haunted by the spirit of an orphan girl, one who, according to legend, still waits for her father to return from the sea. When Hannah later looked through her photos, one image stood out. In it, a dark figure appeared, a childlike shape with pitch-black eyes staring out from the shadows. It wasn't in any of the other photos she'd taken that night. Terrified, Hannah left the tour early and stayed with a friend for several days. Since then, she says that same black-eyed child has continued to appear in her dreams. Number 33. While hiking along the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina, a woman paused to take a quick photo of the morning fog as the sun began to rise. Everything seemed peaceful and quiet. But later, when she looked back at the picture, something strange caught her eye. Far in the distance, just barely visible through the mist, was a figure standing alone on the trail. She was sure no one had been ahead of her. The path had been completely silent. So who or what was out there that morning? Number 34. A man went camping with his friends, enjoying the weekend and taking plenty of photos to remember the trip. But later, while looking through the pictures, something strange stood out. In one shot, a dark, shadowy figure appeared beside him, shaped like the upper body and head of a woman. The group was certain no one else had been near them when the photo was taken, which made it even more unsettling. Could it have been just a trick of the light, or did they accidentally capture something they were never meant to see?